Hi. So I wanted to talk about the movie Get Out tonight, right? Before I get started, let me do my singing bowl. All right, this is my first time going live on YouTube. Actually, I usually go live on Facebook, but I wanted to try something different tonight and try to do it on YouTube. Um, I want to talk about the movie Get Out and the symbolism behind it. Um, it's funny because I before the movie came on. Like I've seen it twice. First time, I just watched it. It was, a pretty good movie, but I really didn't get it as much as I understood it the second time. And I guess the more that I come into my spiritualism of self, cleansing myself and healing myself, the more I've noticed different symbolism in movies and different TV shows. So I had a dream, and I talked about it in the last video, I think, or the video before last. But the dream that I had was talking about my consciousness and not having to validate myself for anyone, protecting my energy and who I am as far as the light being that I am. I see a lot of people who have this whole trip on racism, culture, sexuality, all those other things. But at the end of the day, none of it really matters when it comes to the bigger picture and the grander scale. Because at the grander scale, life is going to do what it wants to do. The universe already knows what's going to happen. It already knows how to get rid of the plagues and the weaknesses of those who do not belong on this earth, as far as trying to corrupt it. So when it comes to that, I had that realization. I wrote into my journal, and then the next morning, I meditated, and the movie Get Out came on, and I hear things. So I was hearing the universe that I needed to sit down and actually watch this movie again. So as I watch it, for those who don't know about Get Out, the movie is about this black guy. I think his name, I don't know if it's Chris or not, but I think his name is Chris. And his girlfriend was a white girl, and her name was Rose. They were going to, she wanted him to come and visit her family folks for the weekend, I guess, and, meet everybody, blah, blah, blah. And he, was skeptical about it because he was like, your family might be racist. I don't know if they'll like me or whatever it may be, one of his concerns. His best friend was a black guy and was saying, you going up there to the mountains, blah, 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 wherever the cabin was, wherever the house was, um, talking about, you don't know what they'll go, what they'll do to you and all this other stuff up there. However, he ends up going with his girlfriend Rose up there to meet her family folk. And he realizes that the energy is weird there. Like, they're always talking about his physique and mentioning different things about on like low key black folks this and how do you feel about this and trying to force themselves out there like they're not racist. However, they were to an extent where they kind of like manipulate, try to be too friendly. However, there was a reason for all of that. So as the movie goes on, the mother of Rose is a psychiatrist, and I don't know if anybody knows, but there's frequencies and everything. Since we are all energies, there is frequency behind words, pictures, movies, sounds. So just like clapping is a sound and a vibration, and it kind of like mellows certain energies. So when it came to um, this particular her mom, the way she would tune um, Rose's boyfriend out was by a teacup. So she had the little teacup and she would swirl around in the teacup, ting on the side, and make this noise of a frequency. This frequency um, was used to mesmerize or hypnotize his mind. So as she was hypnotizing him, she was like, what are you scared of? What do you fear? Is there like some hidden darknesses within you? And he was like, it took his consciousness back to, he didn't want to talk about it, but it took his consciousness back to when his mother disappeared or his mother had passed on, and he felt like he wasn't able to help her or save her. So when he thought about this, his consciousness sunk into that dark place. Once he sunk deep enough, the mother pretty much was like, I got you, as far as your consciousness. So she had hypnotized him to where he fell into his consciousness, his sunken dark place. So every time she tings on the teacup, it would take his mind automatically back to that sunken place of fear, of darkness, of torment and torture. So that was the way that she was able to manipulate the mind. So then, further on in the movie, the family had a party, and it was like a kind of like all rich type of party or elite, type of party, and all these different white folks was coming, and they were, talking or whatever, and it was like everybody was trying to find out about Chris, the black guy, Rose's boyfriend. So they was like, touching on his arms and pretty much like, how in slavery they would market off the black person. Well, that's kind of like what they were doing with him, and they was trying to feel him out. So in the mix of this party and everything, he was feeling the awkward vibes, and the black folks that were there were awkward in their self, in their totality. It was like, they wasn't really black. They was trying to like prove to be somebody that they weren't. He didn't really know how to place it, but he knew something was wrong with him. So with one guy, he knew that he felt like he knew this one particular black guy. So he tried to take a picture on the slick, and the flash caught the guy off guard. So by the flash catching the guy off guard, it was like his consciousness or subconscious mind woke up. So then he was scared, and he was like, it was like that sunken place within him where the black guy or the black consciousness was actually, it woke up, and it was like, get out, get out, get out, get out, because he was pretty much trying to warn Chris that this is not the place that you want to be. There's some messery going on. You know what I'm saying? So after that part of the movie or the video, the party, then that's when everybody went their separate ways. He had to gather himself, and then further on along in the movie, he realized that the mother, Rose's mother, actually did hypnotize him, and he kept calling back his best friend. That his best friend was like that consciousness, that one that was trying to tell him, I don't know if it's too safe for you to be in that house, blah, 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 with these family folks. Like, you don't know what they're going to do to you up there, et cetera, et cetera. All to be said, throughout the entire movie, finally when it gets to the end, the only way that he could get out of this manipulation and this hypnotism was by, clogging his ears. He clogged his ears with cotton, and he blocked his sight from when these videos kept popping up, and he blocked it. That was the only way that he could get out of the hypnotism, by blocking out the negativity. So all of that being said, with the summary of the movie Get Out, when I was looking at the movie Get Out, I started seeing different symbolisms. Like, it was pretty much saying that it's not a race thing. It's not a race thing at all. It has to do more so with energy, negative energy and positive energy. Because the more or less melanated you are, the more negative energy tends to attach itself to you. So this particular family, they understood that. And they knew if they can get certain black, the black folks that they was bringing into the family, if they could get them furthermore into their sunken place and their darknesses, that opens up the doorway and the gateway to negativity. So by using their weaknesses against them, they were able to overpower them. And when you look at the world today, that's exactly what's going on. In the world today, we have so many people in that sunken, hurt broken place. One of the reasons why they constantly show slavery movies, because they know by constantly showing these slavery movies and, getting black folks riled up in that negative space, that hurt and scared place, they could easily transfer their consciousness into that negative space of black people. So because they throw that racism card out there, that negativity card out there, black people are opening themselves up to the negativity and the negative energy of white consciousness. And that is how they're able to take over the consciousness of a people for a long amount of time, 500 years, such and such and such, because it's because you keep a particular culture of people or the human race in fear, you're throwing your consciousness of negativity into the consciousness of the other person, throwing your own inferiorities into the consciousness of the other person. And by doing so, you can control, manipulate, and be powerful, lead that group of people because they have no mind of their own because of that fear, because of that scare tactic. So, as I'm looking at this movie, Get Out, it also talks about how, her grandparents actually have taken the consciousness or the bodies of these black workers, slaves that's working for the family. However, it wasn't the black slaves per se, because when Chris was looking at them, it seemed as though they were, black slaves to these white people. However, it was actually the consciousness of the grandmother and the grandfather in the bodies of these black people that was working for them. So that showed me that that's the same thing that's happening to today. Like I said, people getting tripped up on this racism and race this and race that. However, it has nothing to do with race. It has to do with negative and positive energy. White people tend to be more negative energy wise. Whereas the more melanin you are, the more positive energy you are driven with. So because these black workers that was working for the family they had opened themselves up to negativity, the grandparents' consciousness or that negative white consciousness was able to jump into the consciousness of these black people. So now you have grandma and granddad looking as though they're black, but in their consciousness it's a white person, or it's the negative notion of the white person, not white sense of color, but as far as that energy sense. So at the end of the movie, when he finally breaks free and gets out, Rose, the daughter, was talking to her granddad. Granddad is in this black body. She was like, "Get him, granddad." And he goes running past her to go to attack Chris. That lets me know that as much as we say, we all brothers, we all kindred sisters by the color of our skin, we are not all the same in mental consciousness. You can be black all day long, but that doesn't mean that your consciousness is that of positive light. Because the more melanin you are, the more positive energy you have within you. So that's what I gathered from the movie Get Out, is that everything is not about color, but it is about energy and consciousness. And the more we keep our consciousness susceptible to these negative energies and negative entities, we open our bodies and our minds up to negative emotions, negative things that run our fears, take control of our minds and our consciousness. However, if you strengthen yourself and strengthen that spirituality within you, strengthen your consciousness with positive attributes, positivity, and optimism, you are more susceptible into bringing into you positive notions, positive virtues. You no longer see the negative, and your mindset begins to change. You begin to adapt to more optimistic way of life. You don't fear things because you know there is no sense of fear. The only fear that you're creating is the fear that you have created from your negative space. The further you fall into a dark, sunken place in your mentality, the more you are bringing that law of attraction to you. You're bringing that negativity to you because you are negative. So the more you are negative, the more you attract these different people. You attract different energies, different folks that are just as negative and insecure and hurt as you are. Whereas if you have that place of mind where you are, you've healed yourself, you healed your broken pieces, you've dealt with things and you're no longer in that denial, you now have that mindset of optimism and love. Love conquers all. Love conquers fear. So based off of law of attraction, the more you love who you are on the inside, you bring to you, you bring to you that love factor. Now you are bringing to you people who are on the same mission as you, people who are the same consciousness as you, because they no longer want to deal with fear. They no longer want to deal with the pain. Neither do you. So you attracted that energy to you. Now you can move together as one, as an energy, and work together into creating this spiral formation of motivation. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people need to understand. And that's what I feel like is talked about in the movie Get Out, but you're only going to be able to see it if your third eye of consciousness is pure enough or positive enough to where you can see the messages. And the messages at the end of the day, even they're telling you in the movie Get Out, that it has nothing to do with the color of your skin, but it has everything to do with the negative and positive energy of electricity and mind state between each individual and each being. So with that being said, that is what I wanted to talk about tonight, was that simple factor and notion of, people need to get out of this mindset of racism, of sexuality, of things that they cannot control. You cannot control another person's sexuality. You cannot control the way somebody else think of racism or anything like that. The more you focus on you and heal who you are, the more positive energy you bring out, and the more you are less worried about things that don't matter. Somebody else's sexuality does not pertain to you. Your job as a being and an individual is to love everybody else because you love yourself. The more you love yourself and the difference in everything that you have within yourself, the more you are able to love the next person. Because at the end of the day, what you look like on this outside surface is not who you are. So I think that is one thing that a lot of people need to understand and grasp in this world and in this time and in this era, is that we have to get past our differences. We have to get past all of that. In this physical realm, we look different, but our spirits are all the same, no matter who you are. Your spirit is all the same. When I look at somebody else, my brother, my siblings, my mom, my dad, I still see me in each and every last one of them. When I see a homeless person on the street, I see that pain or that energy or that contentment that they have being on the street that I have also gained from my own life. You can see yourself in everyone and anyone. And the more people get to that place where they can see themselves as another consciousness and being of that random person over there, the more we will adapt to that love and that unity cipher. The more we create that Tower of Babel that the quote unquote, Bible talk about. How we're getting too close to that state of mind, that heaven. So the more we get that unity, the more we will create building a spiritual tower of serenity, of peace. So that is definitely beneficial and definitely something that we all need to get the gist of. While I'm here for this video, before I close this video down, I want to do a world tarot reading. A world tarot reading, just one card. I am using the Crystal Tarot deck. My bad. This is the book that explains certain things with the cards. And I want to see, let's find out what our ancestors or the universe would like to mention to us when it comes to what needs to be done as far as a people. as far as humanity itself, what needs to be said. Hmm. So this card here is what pops out. The trigonic quartz. This card right here. So let's figure out what it is saying when it comes to this card. This is the soul code tarot reading for this world tarot reading. The soul code. You are an eternal spirit on a human journey. This goes for everyone and all of us. We are all an eternal spirit that came into this physical world to experience things in this human journey. As a result, you may feel that Earth is not your true home, but remember that you are here for a purpose. Expand your awareness, structuring your physical and subtle bodies, beliefs, and realities. Birth your soul on Earth if you feel alienated. Meditation triggers your soul's full potential and purpose. And reintegrating fragments of your soul, you bring about wholeness. So by breaking pieces of yourself down to the part where you are understanding each piece of you, you then create the whole of you. By expanding your awareness, restructuring your physical body, whether it be eating healthy. Like for me, I've become a vegetarian, trying to be a vegan, a raw vegan eventually. And I've noticed that the more I eat greenery instead of death, instead of meat, instead of things that does not serve the soul any good, the more I eat that greenery and that substance of life from the energy of the sun, the more my brain matter, or my pineal gland, third eye, begins to soak up information that I didn't really acknowledge in the first place. The pineal gland only can pick up life of information if you're feeding it life of information. If you're feeding it death, you are killing your pineal gland in your third eye. That's why a lot of people in this world don't understand each other, or they can't see symbolism in things, because your pineal gland is calcified. So we need to remember our spiritual journey and our soul's code, that we decided to choose this earth. We came to this earth because in the heavens above, or the consciousness of all consciousnesses, we was like, you know what? I know I have a mission. I'm ready now. So then we're born into this physical reality. But when you are born into this world, they shoot you up with shots, vaccines, give you medicines, and all these things like that condemn and damn the pineal gland. So it's calcified from birth, which is what they try to say in the Bible about born in sin. You're not born in sin as far as you did sin, but you are born into sin where they have condemned you with sin over your genes and your consciousness and your mind state. Recognizing the multi-dimensions brings breath into your own soul. Remain honest to achieve success. Reach beyond apparent reality and karma. Let go of conflicts. Renegotiate soul contracts. Heal soul traumas in the etheric blueprint. Expel toxins from the physical and subtle bodies to download higher frequency spiritual energies and integrate the light body. Everything that I've said on the whole is like, what the ancestors are saying. Like, it's time for us to get out of this pain, get out of this sunken darkness. We need to regenerate our soul purpose of what we came here to do. Each and last one of us as an individual spirit being are one consciousness. And we all have come onto this world to serve a purpose, to heal, to teach each other, to gain our consciousness and our oneness back with each other in the universe. We need to recognize the multi-dimensions in this realm. There is a whole bunch of infinite realms in one realm. Just as I have this physical body, I have a spiritual body, I have a soul body, I have a emotion body that's based off energies and motion. You have the matrix, you have the physical realm, all of these multi-dimensions. There are different things of aliens. You have parasites, that is an alien. You have different animals that are alien to us. You have different things that are in the ocean that we cannot reach. That is a different form of alien. All of these things are multidimensional. You have on top of the earth, you have within the ocean, you have under the ground. All of these certain things are different portals. All of these things are different multi dimensions. And we need to understand that all of these multi dimensions are here. And we have to be one with them. Um, in order to achieve honest success, we need to be able to download higher frequencies, spiritual energies, and integrate the light body. So we need to be able to cast astray our negative emotions, our negative energies, and open ourselves up to higher frequencies. In order to get to higher frequencies, as I stated before, we need to heal the physical body. In order to heal the physical body, we need to eat right. We need to drink spring water. We need to drink things that does not have the acidicness within it. Sodas, you need to cancel. Kool-Aid, juices, all of these things that are not natural, we need to kill it because it's serving the body no good. If it does not serve the body no good, it does not serve the mind any good. And if it does not serve the mind any good, it will not serve your spiritual consciousness any good. And you will not reach your higher frequency of vibration. You will stay on that low state of mind. We need to understand that. We need to get back into our natural gifts, being able to ground ourselves, get out of our feelings. We are so in tune or sunken into our emotions of sadness that we don't know how to create our emotions of positivity and peace. It's not that hard to do. We have to quit getting caught up with the distractions. Love everyone regardless of what that individual looks like and regardless of what that individual's culture is or anything like that, because that is an inferior state of mind, a low negative frequency state of mind. With that being said, my YouTube channel is Minote Yoni, Spiritual Advisor. I go by the name Segment Ubuntu or Yoni. So for any of those who, would like a tarot reading, I will have to put my information up. I have my Facebook. My Facebook is called, is under Segment Ubuntu. SEHKMET Ubuntu. UBUNTU. So if you would like to get a tarot reading, a pendulum reading, or anything of that nature, you can find me on Facebook, inbox me, and I can do a counseling session. That's part of my business. I always do the first consultation for free. And we could talk about the rest, throughout, my meeting with you. I hope that you subscribe, like my video, share my video, and, by all means, please, come my way, send people my way. And I would love to talk more in depth about different things. I'm all about rebirthing the soul and the spirit and getting people to see what they didn't actually see in themselves. With that being said, I wish everyone the best. I hope everybody learns to love, 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 love. Love is key. Get out your feelings. All being said, y'all, love and Ubuntu. One love.